Welcome back to the channel. I'm Chase and this is All Things Rome. Today we are looking at a Cadisen Tiffany Blue. Now before we hop into the video, a shameless plug, chasestraps.com, link down in the description where I offer very affordable, high quality, vintage style leather watch straps and NATO watch straps for all you watch lovers. Now, why are we looking at another Cadisen today? I just released a video maybe 2 weeks ago of a Cadisen Day-Date homage to, of course, the Rolex Day-Date. But I just love the Tiffany Blue dials that are offered. In fact, I'm wearing a Pagani design right now, Tiffany Blue or light blue or whatever any other company wants to call it. But basically, these are homages to sort of combat that Rolex OP Tiffany Blue, if that's what you want to call it, that really light blue that really exploded last year, going from $5,800 to almost $20,000. So I'm all for homages, and in fact, the watch that I have today that I will be looking at, that I will be doing a hands-on, in-depth review, is from Cadisen. Now, Cadisen to me is like Pagani design to a lot of other people. It's an affordable automatic watch with a workhorse Miyota movement in it, and honestly, it's really hard to find things that are similar in quality that offer this much bang for the buck. With all that being said, let's just flip the camera around and hop right into the review. Okay, and here is the watch in hand. This is the Cadisen, and it has sort of a Royal Oak vibe. Maybe it does have that Gerald Genta look, just not so Royal Oaky as other homages. And I say that because this does have an integrated bracelet. It is slightly thicker on the integrated bracelet. It does have like a hexagonal shape bezel and case, but it's not so homagey to the Royal Oak that it doesn't have like screws in the bezel or anything like that. So honestly, I think that this is like a really good in between if you really like that style. Now this watch is 40 millimeters in diameter. It measures, they say, at 12 millimeters thick. However, this is 13 millimeters thick. It does have a sapphire crystal protecting that beautiful, beautiful, beautiful light blue Tiffany dial, and it does have horizontal grooves along the dial. Honestly, it gives it a really, really nice three-dimensional look. The bracelet right here is integrated, kind of. It does have a lug width of 20 millimeters, so if you wanted to, you technically could put a strap on this, though it wouldn't look very good if you did. The links are solid links. They are extremely thick and heavy duty. This has a very, very strong industrial vibe, and it really has that sort of really, really thick, durable, I wouldn't say steampunk, but steampunk-ish. It does have a butterfly clasp, 2-button push, proper milled butterfly clasp. Everything lines up nicely, clicks in nice and firm with Cadisen right there. On the back is an open case back, and it does show a Miyota 8215 movement, which doesn't offer hacking, does have hand winding, and it does have a date at the 3 o'clock position. Now this watch does have a screw down crown, does offer 100 meters of water resistance, which is nice for a watch like this. I would say an everyday watch should have at least 50 meters to 100 meters of water resistance, and this has just that. Really nice screw down crown. The crown is signed, very, very nice. Pull it out that one time and you can see that the date does flip. Pull it out again, and like I said, does not offer hacking, so the second hand is continuing to tick, but it does have a very, very smooth action on the movement. Let's go all the way to the 12 and watch that date flip over. Starts right there at just about 11. Come around and just at the 12 o'clock flips over. actually is pretty nice. Now, the one thing that I really like, of course, about this watch is that dial. I was never really a giant fan for that Tiffany blue. However, like a lot of people, it just kind of caught on, and it caught on fire, and it was different, and I just sort of fell in love with it. Now let's talk about this dial. I said before that it does have like some horizontal grooves that go along the face of the dial. The dial is a very, very nice metallic blue. It's not subdued at all. It's very, very shiny in the light. It does have applied indices, baton style, 2 at the 12, all the way around. Again, the date at the 3 o'clock position. It does have a Cadisen logo underneath the 12 with Cadisen just underneath that logo. Honestly, everything on this is extremely simple. It's not overly done and it's not overly cluttered. Now the case on this, you can see that it does have some vertical brushing there, does have brushing along the case with a high polished edge right here on the bezel. So the top of the bezel is brushed. The sides are high polished. The case is brushed. And honestly, I think that it gives it just enough pop to shine in the light, but again, subdued with that, more industrial vibe. Now this thing on the wrist, it's not a light watch. I don't have a scale to weigh this watch, but I can guarantee that this is over 130 grams. So it's not light, but it's not extremely thick either. I've worn heavier watches to include something like an Invicta Grand Diver or whatever it's called. Some of the large Invicta watches are heavier. This is like a good in between. Let's actually toss it on my 7¼ inch wrist and I'll show you what I mean. Now here is the watch on my 7¼ inch wrist, and you can see that it actually wears very, very well. Even with a thick industrial style bracelet here that just glints in that light. And honestly, like I said, I wasn't the biggest fan of this. However, wearing it for a long period of time, honestly, I just love the way that bracelet plays in the light. Now, I'm never a big fan of butterfly clasps, and if you're a viewer of this channel for any period of time, I always complain about the butterfly clasps and clasps that do not have glide lock style mechanisms on it because it's very hard to get the micro adjustment right. However, as you see these links sort of taper down, larger, large, all the same, then they get thinner and thinner and thinner and thinner. The closer you get to the butterfly clasp right here, basically it gets small enough to where you can easily change the links and micro adjustment to where it fits almost perfectly. Now I say almost perfectly because no butterfly clasp style bracelet will ever fit you perfectly because that's just the nature of the beast. But it does fit very, very well on the wrist. I'm not really super tan, not really super white, but I honestly think that the way that they did the brushing on this watch, the way that they did the light blue of this really makes it pop. Now, I'm about to go to Hawaii. Now, one of the things that I really do love about these color pastel style watches is that if you have a darker skin tone, a tan or anything like that, it makes this pop even more. I'm really excited to get some sun on this skin and have this thing pop even more on the wrist. Honestly, I think that they did a very, very, very good job on this watch. And again, the price on this on AliExpress is only $119. And you know that they always have sales. They always have really good pricing. And you can probably pick this up for at least under, I would say 110 if you look at it on a sale. Now, if you like that royal oak style, if you like that integrated bracelet, this is a really good place to start. If you really like something a little chunky on the wrist, or even something that's just really, really, I keep using the word industrial because that's the only way I can really sort of describe this watch. I didn't start loving it until I started wearing it, and I started wearing it. Especially my girlfriend was like, man, that's a good looking watch. I was like, yeah, it really is. Now you guys need to tell me what you think. Now, what are your thoughts on this specific watch that I talked about in this video today? Do you love it? Do you hate it? Do you like the fact that it sort of is reminiscent of a few watches put together? It's not a Royal Oak. It's not a Nautilus. It is not an OP. It is not any of these things. It's sort of a mixture of a lot. Honestly, the integrated bracelet isn't my favorite. However, when I talked to my girlfriend, she actually really loved the integrated bracelet, and honestly, I think once you get it sized to your wrist, I think it's really hard to do worse than this watch. Again, $120 on AliExpress. I'll leave a link down below. Not affiliated with any of this, so just please go look to your heart's desire at any of the things you want. No way does it come back to me. I'm just happy that I'm able to get my hands on watches like this and bring the affordable option to you. Now, if you like videos like this, hit that subscribe button down below. Leave a comment on the content you guys would like to see on this channel. The next video I will be releasing is chasestraps.com, my own personal watch strap company. I will be reviewing every single product on the product lineup. So make sure you guys are hitting that notification bell so you'll be notified when I drop that next video. Until next time.